It is my pleasure to welcome you to the University of Manchester and the splendid surroundings of this Whitworth Hall for the graduation ceremony. In particular, I would like to salute our graduates whose magnificent achievement and hard work we celebrate here today. I would also like to acknowledge the contribution of the family and friends of our graduates, many of whom have travelled long distances to be here today. We welcome you to the university and thank you for the help, support and encouragement that you have given our graduands during their studies. Those of you who are graduating today have given yourselves a real competitive edge by completing your degree here in Manchester. You chose to make an investment in your future when you decided some time ago to follow a degree course here, and today that investment is realised. Your achievement in completing your degree cannot be underestimated, and you and your families and friends should feel justly proud of your accomplishment. The University of Manchester is recognised as one of the world's leading universities, ranked 41st in the world and 7th in Europe, according to the annual index compiled by the Shanghai Jiaotong University. Classifications such as these are determined on the basis of the quality of the research produced in a university and reflect both the current excellence of the university's research and the depth of its historical achievement. Manchester does well in both directions. Our 175-year history includes no fewer than 23 of our former staff and students who have gone on to become Nobel Prize winners. While today our graduates can be found in top positions in business, politics, sport and the arts. Your job prospects, having studied here, will be second to none because employers all around the world recognise the value of the piece of paper you will soon be holding in your hand. Despite these achievements, the coming years will be a testing time for a university like Manchester. On the one hand, we are, comparatively speaking, in good financial shape and as well placed as we could hope to be to face the deep public sector cuts which the coalition government has announced. However, these cuts can be expected to fall particularly hard on higher education, which is not one of the areas singled out for special protection. And cuts of the order of 25% are not easy for anyone, whether an individual or a big institution, to sustain. On the other hand, we seek to define our place amongst the world's research-intensive universities precisely by the excellence of our research, at a time when other nations are increasing rather than reducing their research budgets. The challenge, therefore, is for us to respond to the spending cuts without losing our place, and therefore a part of Britain's place, in world research terms. But research is only half the story. Practically everything that a university like Manchester does falls into one of two categories. On the one hand, we generate new knowledge, that is the activity we call research, and on the other, we pass that knowledge on through our teaching activities and through our interaction with the broader communities of society and business. The two activities are linked, since we believe the best people to communicate knowledge are those who are actively involved in its generation. A buzz term of the moment is impact, or more recently has been called public benefit, and many of you would have read in the press the discussions that have been taking place over the government's requirement that universities should be able to demonstrate how their activities achieve social and economic impact. And some people have raised queries about whether fields like language, literature and culture can make an impact in this sense. At Manchester, however, we are confident that we can show impact in a variety of ways. Not only does our scholarship and research reverberate around the world, providing models and ideas that are taken up and developed in 1,000 ways in different countries, but here at home, research in the humanities is fundamental to the understanding of human well-being, society and culture. What makes a society civilized is not just its economic and social capital, but also its cultural and linguistic capital. Today's graduands are from the School of Language, Linguistics and Cultures, which has for many years taught the principal languages of Europe and the Middle East. French, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese and Russian on the one hand, Arabic, Hebrew, Persian and Turkish on the other. In recent years, we've added Chinese and Japanese to that portfolio. Of the languages I've just mentioned, at least 7, depending exactly how you do the calculation, are in the top 10 most spoken languages in the world. and 9 of them are in the top 10 languages used in the internet. I leave it for you as an exercise after class to find out the 10th most spoken language on the internet, most used language. But we as members of the global community must be wary of an imbalance. 95% of the world's population together speak only 5% of the world's languages. The remaining 95% of the world's languages are spoken by smaller numbers, often only by tiny handfuls of speakers, and are dying out at a disturbing rate. Our school conducts research on some of the languages with fewest speakers in the world, and we have researchers in places as far apart as Peru, the Middle East, Nicaragua, Lapland, Australia, and Mexico. The loss of the world's linguistic heritage is as big a threat as the loss of biological species, and our school is proud to pass on both the knowledge of the culture and tradition of the big languages and a commitment to document and understand the issues surrounding these small languages. English, of course, is not dying, and the English language and linguistics is a buoyant area within our school, as today's graduates will attest. On the contrary, English has become the principal language for international communication in business, science, sport, and the arts. Basking in the convenience this provides, the British have stopped learning languages. In 2001, less than a quarter of our children left school without a language at GCSE. By 2008, the corresponding figure had risen to more than a half. The number of students who are taking languages is declining just at a time when language requirements in other countries are being increased. Business people from outside the UK frequently speak 2, 3, or even more languages with enviable fluency. By comparison, their British counterparts all too often can only conduct their affairs in English. This leads to a loss of competitivity through a failure to understand different cultures and the markets they represent. It also leads to a loss of opportunity in the international job market. A recent study by the British Academy, for example, notes that for every 4 EU citizens working in the UK, there is only 1 UK citizen working in Europe. The figures and the language abilities get worse once we move beyond the languages of our own continent. We live then in a paradox. The UK is more multilingual now than it has ever been. Our indigenous languages, including Welsh, Irish, and Gaelic, are undergoing a revival. Speakers of some 100 or more languages from around the world populate our shores. The couple, for example, who run my local newsagent in rural Derbyshire speak 7 languages between them, and their shop distributes, among other things, a newspaper published in Britain and written in Polish. Yet fewer students are studying languages. The university's language centre, which is part of today's school, is active in trying to reverse this trend through its outreach activities, and we are hopeful that this unfortunate trend can be reversed, especially in view of the new language policies in primary schools. We note too the report on the future of higher education recently produced by the government, which calls for an expansion of the number of language graduates. And Hefke's report on graduate salaries shows that modern languages graduates are the fourth highest earners after medicine, pharmacy, and architecture, ahead of all the science subjects. So languages are important, and the school attaches great importance to teaching them as well as to researching them. For instance, this year the school was particularly proud to have the winner of the university's Teacher of the Year award. Today, then, we are honouring the contribution of our graduates for this year, and in your own way, each and every one of you has enriched the university. Your degree is a hugely important milestone, and you should celebrate your success. But this is the beginning of the journey, not the end. At the end of this ceremony, you will join a new community of more than 220,000 University of Manchester graduates living and working across the globe. The Alumni Association will help you to remain in contact with the university and with each other through reunions, networking opportunities, the Alumni magazine, and the internet. We hope you will make use of the many benefits and services the association offers and enjoy meeting up with one another again in the future. The Alumni Association is also active overseas with branches in many countries. So please don't make today your last contact with the university. Keep the Alumni Office regularly updated with your address changes and your news, achievements, and reminiscences. And remember that our doors will be open to you, always. We will now proceed to the formal degree awarding part of the ceremony. Thank you.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in American and Latin American Studies with Honours, Kate Lockett. And in Arabic and Islamic Studies with Honours, Shamila Akhtar. Skina Bibi. Mark James Gregg. Noor Sakina Binti Muhammad Abdul Qadir. Maya Doina Popescu Moody. Hasbia Akhtar. Saida Bhatia. Catherine Lisa Fulford. Kimberly Louise Hewitt. Farah Khalik. Misbah Khan. Adam Naylor. Sean James Parrish. Halima Qayyum. Rebecca Sophie Weir. Emma Wilkes. And in Chinese Studies with Honours, Thomas David Claiborne. Dominic Gordon. Joanna Ronwyn Russell Cattell. And in English Language with Honours, Alexander James Abbottson. Lawrence Adams. Nicholas Ross Bain. Chloe Emma Barnes. Lydia Barron. Jack Robert Barton. Charlotte Louise Battersby. Mary Elizabeth Begley. Liam Blackburn. Amy Blaine. Victoria Brennan. Kaylee Laura Brocklehurst. Katie Bruff. Justina Flaminia Clarence Smith. Lauren Cohen. Claire Elizabeth Connolly. Thomas Corcoran. Tanya Dennis. Naomi Egan. Natalie Louise Farrow. Katie Victoria Faxon. Paul Ford. Dominic Luke Golding. Claire Hallam. Jennifer Allison Harden. Emma Hardman. Samantha Jamie Harris. Rosanna Alice Hennessy. Ruby Alice Hesselhurst. Anna Jewell. Sarah Kenny. Amy Victoria Kershaw. Aaron Daniel Kreppel. Stephen Lamb. Noni Eleanor Lambert. Sarah Louise Logan. Emily Jane McKenzie. Matthew McNally. Jennifer Meller. Aristia Mesariti. Sam Miller. James Robert Mountford. Sarah Jane Mulholland. Thomas Philip Norman. Christopher Offlands. Isabel Pickering. Sean Pickford. Jeanette Quay. James Rookyard. Lindsay Scott. Laura Jane Smith. Amy Stevenson. Lydia Ruth Taylor. Alexandra Augusta Tomlinson. Jessica Rose Troughton. Rachel Walker. Olivia Claire Wallbank. Natalie Elizabeth Waple. Jonathan Waits. Melanie Wybrow. Simon Thomas Woosie. Maya Zara. And in English language and a Middle Eastern language with honours, Laura Eleanor Luders. And in English language and French with honours, Hannah Sill. Teresa Smeaton. And in English language and Spanish with honours, Jennifer Patricia Brady. Katie Jane Ollier. Anna Sweeney. And in English Literature and Linguistics with honours, Harriet Claire Atkin. Rebecca Barnes Graham. Catherine Louise Birchall. Emma Brazier. Isabel Cooper. Catherine Helena Creighton. Ilona Rachel Gill. Jane Elizabeth McConnell. Robin McCune. Gemma Purang. George Ranson. Heather Jane Riddick. Esther Rogers. Bethan Rowlands. Sarah K. Thompson. And in French and Chinese with honours, Alexander Matthew Kennedy. Maria Elizabeth Irene Petsch. And in German and linguistics with honours, Alice Caroline Chatow. And in history and French with honours, Daniel Mark John Bailey. Ellen Rosa Stevenson. David Walsh. And in history and German with honours, Alex Dodds. Emma Michelle Penley. And in history and Spanish with honours, Lula Hannah Theodora Edith Boardman. Natalie Hughes. Benjamin Joel Jackson. Sarah Louise Reynolds. And in history of art and modern language, Spanish with honours, Brooke Louise Kerr. Flora Melita Walker. Esther Wallace. And in Islamic Studies and Arabic with honours, Tiffany Ju Takeuchi. And in Italian and Linguistics with honours, James Williamson Venner. Caroline Walker. And in linguistics with honours, Saira Arshad. Paul Christopher Connor. Mary Eileen Croft. Owen John Kennedy. Holly Louise Knapp. Fernanda McDougall. Sally Nichols. Benjamin Paul Gordon Rhodes. James Edward Riches. Vanessa Jane Roberts. Laura Sands. Surai Shah. Rosanna Smith. And in Linguistics and Social Anthropology with honours, James Andrew Talbot. And in Linguistics and Sociology with honours, Emma Janet Bennett. Emma Louise Thompson. And in linguistics and Spanish with honors, Alexandra Anderson. Carl Stephen Edwards. Isabel Gundy. And in Middle Eastern and Modern European Languages with honors, Justina Kozaczynska. Rebecca Elizabeth Lee. Lucy Marianne Proven. Jonathan Serfati. Emily Cervantes. And in Middle Eastern Studies with honors, Amy Avril Gallet. Sonia Khadraoui. Robert Trounce. And for the degree of BA in Middle Eastern Studies, Phoebe Ann Robinson. And in Modern Language and Business and Management, French, with honors, Emma Louise Chatfield. Andrew Robert Cochran. Simon Davis. Andrew Michael Hacking. David James Hay. Megan Rose Kill. Michael Lamb. Alicia Villafuerte Abrego. Hannah Janine Woodward. And in Modern Language and Business and Management, German with honors, Sarah Louise Hodgson. Duncan Hayden Jones. Cheryl Ann Russell. Sarah Jane Russell. Sneha Harish Shah. Gemma Elizabeth Smith. Trisha Vitlani. Tessa Volkmer. Daniel Wellman. Carly Wright. And in Modern Language and Business and Management, Russian, with honours, Kate King. Dasha Panfilova. Sophie Merita Seitamu Mijak. And in Modern Language and Business and Management, Spanish, with honours, Patrick Charles Ailing. Tamara Beatty. Kathleen Emma B. Natalie Fawn Brown. Christina Clare. Ismay Charlotte Curry. Phoebe Lazar Wallinger. Rosemary Claire Leading. Michael Anthony Stocker. Louis Michael Such. Hannah Rebecca Thomas. Adrian Olivia Thompson. Rosanna Claire Kinnock-Wordy. And in Modern Language and Business and Management, Chinese, with honours, Gry Heer Jochumsen. Pierce Shrewsbury Ridyard. And in Modern Middle Eastern History, with honours, James Joseph Ralph Griffiths. Nadia Mahmoud. Kirsty Matthews. Thomas Daniel O'Hare. Rosamond Pike. Kavira Rawat. Jennifer Tal. And in Modern Middle Eastern History and Arabic, with honours, Luke Martin Gregory Penfound. And in Spanish and Chinese, with honours, Curtis John Ayton. Charlotte Dawson. Francis James Hopwood. Jonathan Michael Watson. And in Spanish and Portuguese, with honours, Catherine Mary Bales. Lucy Cresswell. Vanessa Louise Hands. Peter Maiden. Rachel Imogen Ramsey. Francis Alexander Roberts. Samuel Thomas Theta. Charlotte Thomas. Georgina Townsend. And in Turkish and Islamic Studies with honours, Christine Proctor. And for the degree of MSc Management and Implementation of Development Project, Shafiqullah Kaderi.
Today we have celebrated the award of your degrees. Many congratulations. On behalf of the university, I extend to each of you our warmest congratulations. I now declare the degree ceremony formally closed.